Hello, good evening and welcome back to TTTV. My name is Andy Campbell and tonight is Saturday night and we are back on Project Cars 2 for the Formula C League. It's round number 6 from Knockhill, my home circuit, just over the bridge from me in Fife. Very short, only 1.267 miles round. This is going to be a very fast, frantic and exciting race here tonight. Smaller grid than normal because you can only get a maximum of 12 cars on this grid at the best of times. And the first race coming up, the sprint race, has got heavy cloud. It's going to be dry all race here today. In fact, the temperatures are going to get higher as the race night goes on. Bit similar to what it was like today. It was actually a very nice day up here in Scotland. John Scott in the chat there. Hello John, thank you very much for joining us. I believe we'll be seeing you possibly on track next week, my friend. I hope you do enjoy the stream here this evening. We've got Jazza on the pole position, Crusher Bro in second, Lyronix is going to take third for this random grid with McKinda for you in fourth. You can see curved grid here going up the hill. It's going to make it very interesting. The Zebras here, the American in 5th place, 6th place for Plaster, 7th for Alan K, 8th is Rappy, and Maze is going to have to start down at the back of the grid for this random grid sprint race. The usual cycle of races here tonight. Sprint race 15 minutes and then we'll go into a 15-minute qualifying session before a 35-minute feature race. In which case we will also have a mandatory pit stop within that time as well. Just waiting on the drivers readying up, and there we go. They have done exactly that, so we're waiting for the lights to come on and go out for the first time tonight here on TTTV, and we are underway at Knockhill in Scotland, and it's a good start there from Jazza out front in pole position. The Crusher Bro pulls in behind, and McKinda for You's jumped up already to 3rd place there as they go through Duffus Dip for the first time. It's Lyronix in 4th, you've got Plaster there in 5th, cutting across there just in front of the Zebra in 6th, Rappy up to 7th, Alan K in 8th, and May still down in 9th position as a car off in the background, and that is Lyronix 2nd in the championship. He will not want to be doing that. That's put Plaster up as they come into the right-hander, and Plaster sideways there going into Clark's curve, and that's not what he wants to do. He's going to drop all the way to the back of the field. Meanwhile, we've just jumped back up to the front into the Taylor's hairpin at the end of the track, and Crusher Bro has already taken over the lead of the race. The Norwegian has been absolutely flying in this series since joining along, and he's jumped into the lead of the race. Jazza has to settle now for 2nd, McKinda for You in 3rd, the Zebras moved up to 4th with everything going on behind. But they've got a bit of a gap between the top 3 and the rest, and you can see it very tricky coming down the hill of Duffus Dip there. That is Lyronix getting a little bit onto the grass there, very tricky corner, and this bit here up through the chicane is so difficult. So you come over the crest and you can easily do what Rappy's done. He's spun it wide, caught the gravel just too quick through the chicane, spun it round, and that is him dropping down the field. He is now last in the race. As you can see, Crusher Bro's already got 2nd all clear over Jazza there in 2nd place. McKinda for You in 3rd, the Slovenian doing pretty well, and Zebra keeping 4th place at the moment, with Lyronix keeping very close tabs on the back of the American there in 5th place. We jump to the roof cam here off the German coming into Duffus Dip. You see he's really gone in far too deep there, and he's now on the rallycross track here at Knockhill. That is off the track very big time. That's going to allow a number of cars through there. Up into 5th place goes Alan K. Thankfully for Lyronix, he's only lost the 1 place there to Mr. Alan K, so only down to 6th, and he's already onto the back of the Irishman's tail there as he struggles his way through the chicane. You can see Rappy in the background there trying to make up the ground, coming through Clark's curve and coming through Hislop's now towards the Taylor's hairpin for what is the 3rd time in this 15-minute feature race. Already a good way through. There's the Zebra onto the back of McKinda for You, but the Lyronix has got a much better run by the looks of it out of Taylor's hairpin. yes, Jazza did begin in pole position, Man of Steel, and he's down to second, but it was Crusher Bro that passed him, so not surprised. Side by side into Duffistit. Lyronix takes it a wee bit more careful this time, and that is the Zebra who is off the track, so he's lost it at the bottom of the hill with a compression. That's dropped the American behind, still in fourth now, but it's dropped him off the back of McKinda for you. You see Lyronix there getting past Alan Kay as they come up towards Butchers and the Arnold Clark chicane. I will not be saying Arnold Clark all the way through this race, I'll tell you. Plaster getting sideways there on exit, and Rappy's dropped well off the back of the rest of the field already. But Jazza in second at the moment, but this man, Crusher Bro, feeling a bit unwell as the Norwegian today. He's been struggling with a nasty cold, but he's still out in front. 3.5 seconds clear he is. Jazza in second, McKinda for you in third, who's about 5 seconds behind Jazza. The podium places clear of everybody else at the moment. The Zebra's held on to fourth after his mistake last time by. You can just see the gravel glistening on the road there as the sun tries to peek its way through the clouds here in Fife. Lyronix trying to catch up to the American in fifth. Alan Kay's dropped off. Lyronix in sixth. Mays is in seventh place, having started at the back coming through the chicane. Plaster coming up through the chicane there at the back end of the track in eighth, and Rappy still trying to catch up and get back up to the field in ninth, really pushing it as he goes across. Crusher Bros just set the fastest lap of the race there as well. We are 49.5, and that is also going to get him the bonus point for the fastest lap at the moment. Jazza drifting his way through Leslie's there, and not doing too great. Sorry, Scotsman corner there, actually named after the newspaper, getting them a bit mixed up there. It's Leslie's at the bottom of the hill there as Lyronix is going through. Unbelievable track. This place is just absolutely insane. The fact that they use this for touring cars is mental. But it's going to be really good. Lyronix trying to catch up to the back of the Zebra up ahead, but he's starting to take it a bit easy. Default setup in these cars, remember, makes them a little bit twitchier than normal, and what you'd expect. And you see Crusher Bro's going on to a 48.8. He is flying up front. Jazza's got himself into the 49.5, so if it hadn't been for Crusher's latest lap, that would have been the fastest lap of the race for Jazza. But Crusher is absolutely flying up front. Jazza's got himself a really nice lead over McKinda for you. The closest battle is between these guys, which is the Zebra in fourth and Lyronix in fifth, although Rappy has closed up to the back of Plaster down at the back of the field, so we'll keep an eye on how that one goes as well. Lyronix not able to do much, comes into the second in the championship and 215 points. Your championship leader is Gero on 236, but the Spaniard has pulled out of the rest of the season, so he will score no more points. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Rappy and Plaster. I was trying to say Rappy and Plaster at the same time, and Rappy's in the beach on the gravel there. Bunt Island's not too far away, you can head up there, but not for good for racing, so we'll come back to the battle a bit further ahead, I think, between Lyronix and no, it's not close enough, so we'll come back to Rappy and Plaster towards the back of the field. Let's just have a quick look in the chat here as you come through. Taylor's Hairpin for the 8th time already, halfway through the race, 8 laps in. Such a short track, obviously, here at Knockhill. And John saying, on yourself, Jazza. I met him last night in some random lobbies and had a few good races. Yeah, we'll hopefully get you through the proper sign-up process for next week for the last couple of rounds. Oh, Plaster, a huge tail happy moment there. That's allowed Rappy through and up into 8th place, but he's ran wide into Scotsman's, and Plaster's going to sneak back through before the chicane as they come up and over the top of it. Camera angle's not too good. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Plaster getting a little bit sideways, losing ground, and they just caught into Rappy there, and you can see in the background that is Crusher, the race leader, coming up to lap these guys, being such a short track. He's already catching up to lap the tail enders. Meanwhile, Lyronix is he's drifting his way through Duffistit. Certainly not the preferred line through there for sure. Very tricky corner. Plaster a little bit sideways in the exit there. Rappy gets through there. I wonder if Plaster maybe just allowing the German to get through there after that little incident at the chicane on the last lap. The race leader now on a lap 10 of the race. We're now halfway through. That's a bit too much curb there from the Norwegian. Oh, he's lucky to hold that together. That was nearly, could have been a big incident there for him, but manages to keep it together, and he's going to be lapping them before long. Meanwhile, up ahead, you can see the Zebra has got Lyronix just behind, and it doesn't look like Lyronix has got much at the moment to get past the American just now. Showing some decent paces, the Zebra got some good points at Zolder last week, and at least this week Man of Steel will be able to tell you about this. No Klingon this week, Man of Steel, which I'm sure you'll be disappointed in, obviously. That was very... if you've not seen it, go back and watch Zolder and me try to pronounce Tornate. Oh, gee whiz. Anyway, Lyronix trying everything he can to close in to the back of the Zebra to get close enough to make a move and get up into fourth place, but not able to do anything at the moment. A little twitch there coming out of Taylor's. Let's go for a little bit on board here, onto the roof camera off the German's car, and you can see how much the suspension bumps and bobbles its way through this track, and you can see Lyronix throws it in. The Zebra getting tail happy there down the hill, and oh, second time we've gone on board with Lyronix, and the second time he is off the track, spins it round the wrong way, but he's managed to keep going and managed to not lose any places, so they're far enough ahead of Alan Kay to avoid that, who's having a bit of a lonely race at the moment. Him and Mays usually pretty close together, and he's just not too far behind at the moment. Rappy's managed to pull away from Plaster. He's trying to close up, and Plaster a little bit sideways there, down Duff's dip, not able to do much. There is Crusher coming up to the back of Mays now, your race leader, to come into the final 5 minutes of this first sprint race. He's got a 15-second lead over Jazza at the moment. Man of Steel is gutted, there's no Klingon, and John's asking, I believe you're asking Man of Steel if he's in this league as well. No, he's just I think he's a friend of Jazza's. He's always been here supporting this man each and every week, and it's been great having him along, keeping me company in the chat as well. Family, even better. Superb. I didn't even know that one, my friend. Fantastic. Well, either way, it's been great having you along. You've kept me occupied in the chats as well. But unfortunately, being Scottish, I can pronounce the corner names this weekend, so we've got no Klingon to worry about this time. But Jazza looking good for a podium at the moment, as long as I've not given him a commentator's curse. Coming downhill, using the curb. Got to be careful on that curb and on the exit coming down the hill. You can very easily pitch you into a slide and into a spin. And you see Jazza's just coming up to the back of Plaster to lap him at the moment. And you see Plaster actually off the road there, getting a bit wrong through the chicane at the top of the hill. And that's going to be an easy move for Jazza to get past and get a lap on Plaster. Lyronix still trying to do what he can after that spin, but he's about 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds down on the Zebra in fourth. Kinda for you, having a quiet race at the moment. The Slovenian doing pretty well in third place, on for a podium. And obviously I do this each week as well with, I'll do it in a wee moment actually, because Rappy's on to the back of Mays like a fly is to a dog turd, and Mays has completely lost it, gone into the gravel there, and Rappy gets an easy move through up into 7th place as Mays decides he wants to go on a summer holiday into the beach before too long. Seems to be struggling at the moment there just to get the dirt off those tyres. He's going to try and keep going, get round and finish in 8th place. But kinda for you, looking good for a podium. He's been pretty consistent this season, when had a few unfortunate incidents which have cost him a few points as well. Man of Steel saying he's subbed to me. I did notice a couple of extra subs after last week's race. Thank you very much for doing so. Obviously Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend as well, so tomorrow night I'm hoping to possibly get my race review up. Obviously Charles Leclerc on pole position for tomorrow's race, so if you are wanting to look for a race review, my name's Andy81287 on YouTube as well. Give me a sub if you do feel so pleased to do. It'd be absolutely much appreciated as well. I'm sure that's my promotions done for tonight anyway. The Zebra seems to be catching kinda for you a little bit. The gap's down to about 3 seconds. It was 5 seconds a few laps ago. So the American is closing in, but time is coming down very quickly. 15 laps into this race, the race leader going across the line to start his 16th lap. And the bit I was going to do, as you can see on the speedo on the right hand side, The Crusher Bro, Norwegian, using no assists at all. He's going for a completely authentic feel in this Formula C car based off the Formula 3. Jazza just using the ABS, leaving the traction control off. Kinda For You is doing the same thing, preferring a little bit of ABS to his system when he's braking. The Zebra using a little bit of ABS and traction control as well. Of course, we don't know if it's on a high or a low setting. Lyronix does a bit of the same as well, traction control and ABS. Alan Kay, who's now got Rappy right behind him, he's going for the authentic feel with no assist at all. Rappy's using a bit of traction control and ABS, and he's going to try and use the best of those ABS brakes to slow down and get past Alan Kay, and now he's going to try and use the traction control to get a better run. Maze is using a bit of both, and Plaster just on the ABS. No stability control in this league. Default setups, you don't need to be a setup whiz to be quick here, and if you do fancy joining us for the last couple of rounds, give us a shout. We'll see if we can maybe get you in. Obviously after this season's finished, we're going to have season 2 a short time well after, as Rappy sneaks up the inside of the Irishman Alan Kay, but Alan's keeping that position, fighting him all the way, but he's ran wide, too deep into the chicane at the top of the hill. And that is another move done for Rappy as he makes his way back up through the field and up into 6th position, dropping Alan Kay down into 7th place as Crusher comes up to the line to start another lap. He's coming up to actually lap Plaster for his 2nd time. I'm guessing Plaster must have had a spin for him to be getting lapped again too much. Can't beat the authentic feel, says Man of Steel. I'm sure there's an innuendo in there, so I'm going to say no more. There is Alan Kay trying his best to try and catch back up to Rappy, but looks like the German at the moment does have the speed to stay ahead of the Irishman. Can we just have a quick look at the timings? It is still Crusher Bro who's going to be taking that podium, additional point for the fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, Kinda For You is caught right up to the back of Jazza, and 2nd place is now in the balance here. Lyronix has gone up ahead of Zebra, who's struggling. He's got no wing. As I say, Crusher Bro's actually crossed the line. I've not even noticed it with everything going on. So Crusher Bro's already crossed the line. Zebra dropped to 5th there and missing a front wing, so don't know quite what happened here. Here comes Jazza and Kinda For You towards the line as Crusher's already done the win. That went by very quickly, I didn't even notice it. Jazza's going to hold on and take 2nd position. Good podium for him. Kinda For You takes over in 3rd place. Lyronix to cross the line. In 4th it is Zebra, who takes 5th. Rappy 6th. Alan Kay 7th. Mason 8th. Plaster in 9th. But it is the Crusher Bro who is your race winner here for the sprint race this evening. And I believe, if I've not got my spreadsheet in front of me, but I do believe that is his 5th victory of the season as well. I'll need to consult my spreadsheet there. I'm unsure what's going on. Was there contact between you and the pole sitter on the last corner? Not too sure, Crusher. I didn't quite catch it as I was starting to go through the field. Didn't think you would catch Jazza so quickly, to be honest, so I'm not too sure. Jazza, I'm sure I'll let you know before long, but I'm sure that anything wasn't completely intentional. So, Crusher in 1st, Jazza in 2nd, Kinda For You in 3rd. There's your podium. Lyronix 4th. It says the Zebra DNF'd, but he did finish, so he will get the points for 5th place. He's just the way he crossed over the line. Rappy in 6th, Alan Kay in 7th, Mason 8th, and Plaster rounds out the top 9 that we had running here in the 1st race of the season. John in the chat, so hard. I'm on a steering wheel as well. It's still solid. Tiny bit ABS, yep. I think they're running. Yeah, get some practice. Nothing. You got to get a bit of practice in. It is a tricky car. The default setup means you don't need to worry about being a setup whiz, so that's why we've done it in such a way. But it does make it a little bit twitchy. You do want to have a little bit of practice. Jack or Jazza as it is saying nothing, so nothing from him, so no contact there. But looking forward to seeing what you can do next week, John. Obviously Alan will be in touch with you, as he already has been, to smooth over things. He's I'm the coordinator for the league, but Alan's basically been my right hand man. He's done a fantastic job in helping me through the season, hosting the lobbies as well. So I'll let him keep on top of things there, and hopefully we'll get you on track next week, where we're going to Donington. We're going to the short version of the track as well, not the GP version. So do get your practice in there. Maze, happy, never went off once. Well, I don't know about that, Maze. I did see you in the gravel once. I thought you were heading to Burnt Island Beach, a bit further north than from the track there for a moment. You were on the beach once, but it was not by much. So at least, you know, no major spins, no major contact. That's always a good thing. So definitely enjoyable there for that. So the lobby's getting changed around. There'll be a qualifying session popped in there in just a minute, and we'll have a 35-minute race after that. So 15-minute qualifying and 35-minute feature race. Pit stop on as well. I'll go back through the stream maybe, I'm not too sure. Maybe it wasn't you, maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but it did look like your car. So unless the stream's showing me something that it's not, maybe not, but either way, you got through the end of the race, and no major contact. At least you didn't end up on your side this time, like you did at the end of last week in Zolder, due to an unfortunate incident. So that's at least a good thing there. Hopefully you've mapped yourself a reset button for this week in case that does happen. That would hopefully be useful. But there we go, so just wait. So it's medium cloud for qualifying, and then it is light cloud into sunshine synced to the race for the feature race. Mandatory pit stop required as well. Bonus point up for grabs for pole position, another bonus point up for grabs for the fastest lap in the feature race. Obviously race number 1 went to Crusher Bro. He took 25 points for the win and the additional bonus point as well. That's going to really help him in the standings, because he was on 197 coming into tonight's proceedings, so 26 points onto that. My maths is absolutely terrible, but if I've done it right, I think that's 223 now for Crusher Bro there, so that's going to put him possibly just about level with Lyronics. Possibly. We'll obviously get the standings posted up on the Twitter page in due course once they've all been publicised. But here we go for qualifying, and that is Crusher Bro straight out of the garage for the qualifying session. Just trying to find the Norwegian himself. There he is in the number 2 machine out on the track. Bit more sunshine coming through as we move further into the afternoon for the qualifying here at Knockhill. And what we're going to do, because it is now qualifying, is we're going to do the usual jump into the cockpit camera mode in a moment. We're going to take a quick flying lap of this fast, short and frantic circuit. Very bumpy in its characteristics, many corners it can catch you out. Even there's a tricky corner at Clark's. You go up a little bit and then you come down the other side slightly with a camber. And you can see just how much the track bounces up and down and moves as you go along. But we're on board here with Crusher Bros. He comes through Taylor's hairpin here to start his qualifying lap, heading up the hill now towards the start and finish line, past the pit boxes there, up and over the hill. You can see how much the wheels are bouncing on the suspension, looking for the line into turn number 1, into Duffeston. Very nicely done there, down through Leslie's, and then on the brakes, down to second, into Scotsman's corner, gets it a bit sideways as he comes through Butcher's, and then up through the Arnold Clark chicane, skipping across the curbs there like a stone across the water, heading up to Clark curve now, and to the right hander you go over the rise. The car goes light, you can see a bit of opposite lock there, needed to correct the car, and then along through the curve of Hislop's corner, on the brakes now for Taylor's hairpin. Again, it just dips in at the bit side there and you go over the bump, another big bit of opposite lock on the exit, up towards the line. Very quick lap time indeed. Obviously it's a 49.1 from Crusher for the initial onslaught here in qualifying. Who is next to come across the line? Jazza looks like he's going to be the man to do it. In fact, it's Alan Kay is going to be next across the line, so we'll see what the Irishman can do as he crosses over here, and he goes on to a 53.3. Jazz is over the line on a 53.0. Ironics on a 1 minute, on a 52nd.6. And who else was in there? The Zebra on a 51.7. Excuse me. McKinda for you puts himself onto a 51.4. Rappy onto a 51.9. So some early lap times in, but an absolute slow Rappy half the way towards the Kingdom of Fife properly there. He'll be in Kirkcaldy the amount of way he's gone off that track. Big moment at the bottom of Duffer Step there. He's managed to keep it together. Thankfully avoid the wall. Hopefully no damage to his car, and he'll be able to try again, but this lap time's not going to be any good. Crusher still on a lap, the next lap at the moment, not improved last time by. Let's see if anyone else does. Here comes Alan K across the line, better than a 53, does not improve on his time. Lyronix moves up to the second on a 52nd, although that's then beaten by the Zebra on a 50.5. He's got Jazza, I believe, just up ahead of him. Big moment there from the American, another one to get caught out, coming down the compression of Duffer Step into Leslie's at the bottom of the hill. Not the first time we've seen that here this evening. A few drivers being caught out. We've just seen Rappy do it last time by, and this time Zebra, the latest one to be caught out on there as Plaster comes across the line. Jazz is down in 7th place, so you'll be looking for a good lap time before long. Let's see, Rappy coming through. We've got McKinda for you halfway round, Lyronix in 3rd. There's Zebra, moved himself up in the 2nd, as I say, before that moment on a 50.5. Crusher's gone quicker again on a 48.6. He's just got caught up a little bit there. Plaster, who's gone off the track, trying to keep it together, is Plaster, and he's well off in a big hit into the wall there, into Clark Curve, and straight into pit lane goes Plaster, and back out again he goes. Rappy's still on the track, so the car in pit lane is Lyronix then. Here he is, having a quick pit stop, maybe some damage for the German's car. Here comes Crusher, can he improve in that 48.6? Busy pit lane at the moment as well. Across the line we go, and it's still 48.6, so he's not improved that time by. Zebra now on a lap where he's not gone halfway towards Kirkcaldy at the bottom of the hill. Jazz has managed to get himself up into 3rd place now on a 50.5. I'm so used to saying 1 minute. It's quite tricky. Lyronix now back on track on a 50.5 as well. It's pretty close in the middle. You can see 50.519 from the Zebra as he crosses the line with his latest effort. No improvement there. Jazza coming through is on a 50.522, so not very much between them at all. 3/1000 off a second between them. And then you've got Lyronix, who's on a 50.569, just under about, what's that, half a tenth? Not even that? 5/100, something like that. So very close together. And then McKinda for you is only a few tenths back on them, and we know he usually picks up the pace as qualifying goes along, gets a wee bit more comfortable with the tyres and the feeling of the car as qualifying goes on. So keep an eye on him as qualifying moves on. Rappy still, he's wrestling that car like a bucking bronco around here. So his Crusher's up behind, I believe that to be Plaster one more time, back out on track, this time not doing the gardening, coming out of the chicane, and Mays has decided to join proceedings, and that leaves the only man in the pit lane now being Mr. Alan K, who's in pit lane. That is Jazza on a 50.0, so he's pulled himself half a second clear off the rest of the field at the moment, but he's still 1.3 down on this man, Crusher Bro, who's taken pole position since he joined every round that we've had qualifying since he joined at round 2 in Snetterton. Pole in Snetterton, and took pole the following week, round number 3. Oh, big hit over the car there. I don't want to be doing that too much there for sure. Which was at Silverstone round 3, and then obviously we had Hockenheim and Zolder, so pole position every time. Thanks for joining us, John. I hope to see you next week on the track. Just look out for Alan giving you a wee message and he'll run you through everything. But thanks for joining in the stream for a wee while, and we'll see you on track at Donington next week as Crusher gets himself back on track after making a mistake at the chicane at the top of the track. And here comes Jazza up to the chicane. Now you've got to take so much curb there, you've got to basically launch the car through there. You're putting so much faith in yourself in the car, just land and grip, and there's so many places around here where you can just easily lose control very, very quickly indeed. Excuse me. Jazza though in second. Coming into Taylor's at the moment. I wonder if this is going to be an improvement from the Jazzman. He heads up towards the line. You can see Alan Kay's just coming back out of his pit box up ahead. You've seen the green car coming out of pit lane. There he is. No improvement there from Jazza. Still stays in second at the moment. And kind of for using third. Lyronix coming up to the line next in fourth. Half the qualifying already done. I get the feeling we could have dropped it to 10 minutes here this week and got away with it, but either way, we'll stick with what we've got. Lyronix heading for the line. Can he improve in a 50.509? No, he cannot. No improvement there. Rappy's still in 6th place. Zebra coming up towards the end of his lap. He's got McKinda for you behind, trying to use maybe a bit of slipstream up the hill here. Whoa, sideways moment there for the Slovenian. Zebra heading to the line, 50.519. Any improvement? He does not. And kinda for you still where he was as well at a 50.218, so no improvement as Rappy just catches the gravel there, gets away with it. Alan Kay now heading on to his latest fastest lap, having came out of the pits. Plaster still on a 53.9 and Mays on a 55.3, but that's surely going to be an improvement before long, as long as he doesn't get a lap invalidation. But he is currently 9th of the 9 runners just now in this qualifying session. Lyronix back at the pit lane for another pit stop for the German, so maybe he's decided he wants to take a wee break. That is a slow moving Jazza, just taking it a little bit easy there to give himself some space, I do believe. And going deep on the brakes into Taylor's hairpin. And he's going to line up and see if he can get himself into the 49s at least, maybe, on this latest lap before qualifying's done. And he just pulling across slightly across pit exit, which a lot of people do. Something you'll see next week quite a bit as well at Donington also. And obviously coming up to the end of the season, we've only got this next week at Donington, and then the final round for Brands Hatch around the GP circuit in 2 weeks time from here. And then 3 weeks from now, still trying to see if we can get someone to stream it hopefully. We're going to have the season closing BMW M1 Pro Cup. We're going to have 2 races that night. I'm still picking the tracks at the moment for that. The reason I'm saying we're going to look trying to find a commentator is I'm going to be racing. I'm going to join the boys on the track for that one. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you the stream. But we'll figure something out hopefully to do that. It would be pretty cool to be able to do so. Hopefully we'll find someone to commentate. We'll ask maybe a couple of the other commentators if they fancy doing a one-off. The plan for that is default setups again, everybody in a BMW M1 Pro car, similar to what they tried to do in the early 80s, 1980 and 1981, during the European rounds. They tried to do, oh, that's a car off the track, that is Crusher Bro, trying to stay out of the way of everybody at the moment by using the grass, but it's going to take him a bit of time to get the tyres cleaned up. The Zebra's got himself into second in amongst everything as he comes back out of the garage, 49.6, that's a good lap time here from the Americans. That puts Jazza down to 3rd place, but oh, drifting through Taylor's, there you go. Where did Rappy come from there? He was halfway off the screen, unbelievable. But yeah, back in the 80s they tried to do the M1 during the European F1 rounds, and it would be automatic entry for the top 10 F1 qualifiers, but a lot of them couldn't do it because of contracts to other tyre suppliers. That's a car in the gravel there, it's Plaster doing a bit of donutting. I wonder if his steering wheel's stuck or having a problem. He's donutting his way through the gravel. There we go, he's maybe just trying to avoid getting in anybody's way. And he's parked it up, put it in reverse. We'll see how well he does doing a 3-point turn in the sand, clips the wall, and can he keep it going? Nope, he's in the wall again. I'm going to call him away for his own sake. Sure he won't want me known. But yeah, so we're going to do, oh, that's Alan Kay having a big moment there at the top of the hill. So he's in the beach as well there, so not good for the Irishman. Jazza has got himself up to second, 49.642. That's just a second, just over a second down on Crusher Bro's fastest lap time. Plaster has extracted himself from the gravel by going to pit lane, and he's back out on track now. But yeah, that's going to be the season closer. We're going to pick 2 rounds, quick short races, 15 minutes, quick qualifying session, and it's going to be fun, and I'm going to join them as well, so I'm going to get out on the track for that one there, so hopefully we can find someone to stream it for 1 week, and then we'll have a wee bit of time off while we set up the second season, because unlike the F1 seasons with TTL, TTFL, things like that, I need to make the calendar up. It's not just one of those ones where you go, right, we know what the calendar is, here we go. It's not like that. I need to make it up, I need to make the rules. Drivers here this season will have priority in voting for if we stick with this car class or change to something else. So we'll wait and see what happens for season number 2. I personally, I would like to do the Group A cars, which is the old DTM touring cars, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, things like that. Oh, Rappy getting a big moment there. That's a car off the track as well, which is Jazza in the gravel. So Rappy getting sideways, but Jazza had a big moment there. With that left-hander, he's pitched him into a spin, and right off the gravel big time there. So not good for Jazza there at all. Crusher Bro grippy. I'm sure it definitely isn't anything but that out there. Oh, the BMW E3 in the game's grippy. I prefer the Mercedes. I feel it's a lot more balanced. That the E130, I think it is. I can't remember, but the 1990 Merc, I feel, is a better car. The BMW is a good car, but I just much prefer the Merc. I feel it's just more balanced in my opinion, but you never know. I don't think those words fit together too well. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure there's innuendo in there somewhere, but we'll leave it there. We're into the final 30 seconds of qualifying. Zebra going through in third there. Crusher's on pole position, Jazz in second there, and pit lane decided they've had enough. Zebra in third position at the moment, trying to see if he can improve and knock Jazza out of second place, possibly, maybe even the pole sitter. You never know if he can really hook a lap together. Kinda for you's coming up towards the end of his lap. Rappy's just started a lap just now. Sierra RS 500, yeah, there's a car. The turbo, if I remember, it's turbocharged somehow. It's just beast, especially with no traction control. That's a handful. Anyway, qualifying is finished. Cars coming across the line. Here comes McKinda for you. Can he improve? No, he's going to stay in fourth place. Rappy's headed for pit lane. Alan Kay coming across the line. He improves but stays in seventh. Maze is in eighth place. Laster is going to stay in ninth. Lyronics coming up to the line just now. Can he improve on six? He does. He goes fourth position there on that last ditch lap. But Crusher Bro takes another pole position, his fifth pole position in 5 meetings, a 48.639. Jazza in second on a 49.642, and the Zebra in third on a 49.674. So second and third separated by around about 3/100ths of a second. That's going to be very, very interesting indeed. So we come into the feature race, we wait for the drivers to just ready up. Crusher saying here, 500 something horsepower in the Sierra RS 500. No grip, no rear end, no downforce. It is a beast of a car. It is absolutely something else. But I'll tell you one that's good to try if you want to have a laugh in this game. Take the assists off, turn the boost up, and get in that Lotus 98T. I've done that a few times, and it is such a laugh trying to handle that car, especially if you're using a clutch and a gear shifter as well. Unbelievable. That's a hard one. If you want to try something for a laugh, try the Lotus 98T and turn the boost up. There's a hard one. We're waiting for everyone to ready up, so it is Crusher Bro on pole position, familiar place for Norwegian this season. Jazza takes a very good second, Zebra just behind him in third for the American. Lyronics in fourth place, McKinda for you in fifth, Rappy in sixth, Alan Kay in seventh, Maze in eighth, and Plaster rounding out the 9 runners of this race. Here we go for the start of 35 minutes around here. This is going to be seeming like about 40 laps, and we're underway, and the Zebra's got a horrible start down the field there. He's going to get absolutely swamped. Someone's missing. Oh, big contact there. That's been kinda for you. He lost his rear wing somehow. Unsure what happened there. The Zebra's been caught up in it as well, as has Alan Kay, who's missing his front wing also. Don't know what happened there. Somehow McKinda for you's rear wing, it flew off the back of that car, and then obviously lack of rear end downforce means that he just couldn't control the car into the Zebra, which is not the greatest thing for the American, having started in third, but it was his poor start put him in that position. And Alan Kay, an unfortunate bystander on it all, he's minus a front wing as well. Meanwhile up the front, Crusher has used all of that to his advantage. He's already 2 seconds clear of Jazza, with Ironics and Rappy fighting over third and fourth. Maze, the big gainer out of all of that, in 5th position. That is Plaster, who's also gained as well in 6th as Zebra comes up to the start and finish. He's going to be in the pits now. This does count as his mandatory stop that he needs to make, so that's at least one good thing. He's going to get that out of the way early doors, as Alan Kay and McKinda for you also come into pit lane as well. No need for them to change tyres, but they will need to repair the car at least and to make a stop at their pit stall. Coming to a complete stop as Rappy sneaks his way up the inside of his teammate Lyronics and moves into 3rd position. His next target will be Jazza, but look at Crusher Bro up front, 2.5 seconds clear already of this battle which is starting to develop there, and that is Jazza in the grass. I've just seen the flash of white and red there, and Jazza dropped from 2nd down to 4th there at Taylor's hairpin, getting himself on the inside of the grass. I would imagine just the camber of the corner, and it's just pitched him round, and not the greatest thing there at all, and that's going to drop him down to 4th place. Maze is right behind him in 5th position, and McKinda for you and Zebra still in pit lane. Alan Kay's back out. That front wing didn't take as long to fix. There's McKinda for you, rear wing now repaired, and the Zebra still in pit lane, so there must be more damage to the American's car, possibly suspension damage to go with it, maybe, unsure, but that's obviously costing him a lot of time of course, but still going to pick up points as long as he finishes the race of course. Back into pit lane is Alan Kay for a 2nd stop in as many laps, so very strange thing here from the Irishman. Maybe picked up some more damage on his way out. There is the Zebra heading back out onto the track now, so he's back underway in this race. Meanwhile Ironics still trying to catch back up to Rappy, but Rappy looks like he's got a little bit of the legs on his German compatriot, as long as he can keep it on the track. But Crusher Bro's well up ahead, and McKinda for you gets by up in the 7th place with Alan Kay back in pit lane. The Zebras came out on track just behind Maze. Maze is going to sneak out the way though, because he doesn't want anything to do there with the Zebra come out back through the field. Zebra now on his 2nd lap as the rest of the field are on to lap number 4, so 2 laps down is the American, but the rest of the field, apart from Alan Kay and McKinda for you, are still to make a pit stop in this race, so there's still time for the American to gain back before the end of this race. The leader though is already on to lap 5, and he's on the beach, wide at the chicane at the top of the hill. That's Rappy getting a little bit wide as well, but he's going to sneak through and take the lead. A moment of lapse of concentration there from the race leader into the gravel, sideways across the track, spinning wide, and that's cost him the lead of the race. But I guess if you're going to do it, you might as well do it early in the race. He has obviously been struggling with a heavy cold, didn't think he'd be able to race here tonight. He's managed to get pole fastest lap in the win so far, so he's doing alright. Jazz has got himself back ahead of Lyronics as well, so both the drivers having not the greatest laps there. A few drivers having problems, but Rappy's into the lead of the race, and I do believe that might be the first time this season that the German has led a lap of a race that's not been during a pit stop phase, so I'm sure he'll be trying to keep a hold of that. But Crusher Bro, we know, is very, very quick indeed, and he'll be trying to close up to the back of him very, very quickly. Meanwhile, Lyronics is trying to close into the back of Jazza very, very quickly as well, getting a little bit sideways there. We jump onto the bumper cam with the German. We've been on board with him 3 times so far this evening, and he's crashed each time. Meanwhile, here's Crusher Bro's top bumper cam. He's right onto the back of Rappy in the race lead. And can anything be done? Crusher going to try his best. Lyronix still on the back of Jazza, but we've got to go back to the race lead battle here as Crusher closes into the back of Rappy very, very quickly indeed. Coming down Duffestip through Leslie's and into Scotsman corner. Into the left-hander there at Scotsman's, through the left-hander of Butcher's, heading up to the Arnold Clark chicane. You can see the advertisements on the left-hand side. Rappy this time now in the gravel and the beach. And an easy move through for Crusher Bro to take over the lead of the race one more time as Rappy gets it wrong at the chicane at the top of the hill. That's an easy move there for Crusher Bro, and he gets back. What happened to him? Rappy took the lead when he made the mistake, and Rappy does the same thing just without the spin. He's still close to the back of Crusher, but we look at the lap times. Last time by a 52.9. Crusher's in the 49s, so Crusher keep it on track. He could pull away here. Meanwhile, you can see that is the Zebra closing in on the back of the battle for third. That is the speed the American has. Such a shame what's happened on lap 1. He's got a bit wide there coming out of Leslie's though, getting a bit tank slapper on. Manages to keep it together though, but he can still make his way back through in this race yet. There is still time. The rest of the field are still to make a pit stop, and in terms of those that have made a pit stop, if we just look at the standings, Alan Kay's on the same lap as him, and McKindy's only just up the road, so there's still plenty of time in this race. People still need to pit, and you've got obviously quite a short lap here, so there's still time for the American to make himself get up the order and get into some decent points paying positions. Rappy's dropped back a little bit here on Crusher. Just kind of drops in and out of that range. You see the exclamation mark coming up and doesn't appear next to his name. It's just when he gets within a second and then just drops out of that range there. He just needs to keep it clean. He could be on for a good result here. Jazza meanwhile has got Lyronix closing in, and that is the Zebra flying through the Arnold Clark chicane at the top of the hill. Excuse me. And the clever thing here for the Lyronix, I think, if Zebra is quicker than him, now if you look at the lap times, he is about a half a second quicker on the last lap, would be to let the American through at a point that doesn't cost him time, and then he could really use that to try and close in on Jazza. That could be an interesting one for sure, so it would be tactical. It could be a very good thing for him to do here. But obviously he's the lead car in this situation, so he doesn't have to let the Zebra through, and he won't need to for a while because the Zebra's gone off track there, coming down Duffestip into Leslie's. He's done that in qualifying, seen that big spin, and that's going to give Lyronix the chance to now just concentrate on Jazza up ahead of him. Rappy's still within about 2 and a bit seconds of Crusher, so he's not well out of the way. As you can see, Alan Kay is about to be lapped by the race leader, as is Plaster as well, who's in 6th place. So Crusher Bro flying through the field at the moment, coming up to lap the 6th place car after just 11 laps. 25 minutes gone. Alan Kay going the beach way down through Duffestip. It's definitely not the most recommended way, and now into the gravel. Scotsman's as well, doing a bit of gardening work. I'm sure the gardener won't be happy with the stones being left across the track, but that's just how it goes as Rappy gets by Plaster. And Lyronix will be catching up to the back now. They're catching lap traffic, these guys, as well. It won't be too long before Jazza and Lyronix have to deal with the back markers. Again, if Lyronix can get close enough, a possible chance for the German to sneak through and get the move done and get himself up into that podium position. But not able to do anything at the moment as we move into lap 12. 25 minutes to go, 10 minutes are done. And it's Crusher who leads from Rappy, Jazza and that man Lyronix in 4th. 5th place is Maze, having a nice race, benefiting from the first lap incident. Plaster in 6th place, as you see McKinda for you in 7th, Alan Kay staying out of the way as Jazza and Lyronic sneak through in 8th, and the Zebra coming up there about to have a battle with Alan Kay if he can keep it out of the gravel, and that is going to be over 8th place. And you've got to imagine the Zebra is looking a lot quicker than the Irishman at the moment. Jazza throws it in there to Taylor's. Zebra now looking to gain a position in this race after that first lap incident. He's even the standings, they're both now just going on to their 11th lap. McKinda for using the same lap as them. In terms of lap time, the Zebra's done a 49.6 for the best lap, whereas Alan Kay's is a 52, so if he can get the move done, he just needs to be patient. Not really much of a way through as you go up here at the chicane. He just needs a good run here. He can maybe have a go into Clark's, but again, it's not really an overtaking zone. A good run through here, through the curve, which is Hislop curve, and down to Taylor's hairpin would be his best shot, and Alan Kay getting it wrong through Clark's is going to really help the Zebra as well as he goes the long way round. He's going to have to try and switch back and get the run out of the corner, and he's got a much better run to do so by the looks of it. I'm trying to jump to the bonnet cam. Where is Alan Kay? And he is behind. There he is, coming at the toughest out. He's going to try and be late in the brakes at the inside though. Very opportunistic chance there, but that is Zebra through up into 8th position. And he's about to gain his lap back off of Plaster as well in just a moment's time. So Zebra up into 8th now. Plaster doesn't want to fight that one with Zebra, lets him through. Lyronic still chasing down Jazza at the moment though. This could go on all the way through the race, this battle. Rappy's only 3.5 seconds behind Crusher. So Jazza ran a bit wide there through Leslie's. Could give Lyronics a very good chance to get through. Rappy's closed up to 2.7 seconds on Crusher, so has the Norwegian had a problem, or has he gone wide somewhere maybe? Who knows? We keep an eye on that. It's just gone back up to 3.2, but the German's keeping close tabs on Norwegian, so he'll be happy with that. He might still have a chance at maybe sneaking a race victory. Lyronics took the feature race victory last week in Zolder, if you remember rightly, after a peculiar incident between Crusherborough and Mays, where Mays lost it, and Crusher, while he was trying to lap Mays, just couldn't react in time. Put Mays on his side, unfortunately, put him out of the race, but Lyronics is pretty happy because it gave him his first victory of the season and keeps him in 2nd place in the championship coming into tonight's proceedings as well. But Rappy's keeping him honest, keeping that gap around about 3 seconds. We jump to the roof camera with the German. You can see the race leader just up ahead. Down the gears as we come into Taylor's. Oh, tank slapper on the exit though. It's going to cost him time, and he's now dropped to about 4 seconds down. Lyronics just can't do enough on Jazza at the moment. Jazza's doing a very good job just staying far enough out of the way of the German's car to keep him behind. Didn't even know what I was trying to say there. But remember, the top 6 have still to make a pit stop in this race, remember. And you need to make a mandatory stop in this race. You don't need to take any tyres or fuel or anything on. You must come into the pits, stop at your garage, come to a complete stop, and then you can make your way underway again. But no one has pitted except for McKinda for you here in 7th, the Zebra in 8th, and Alan Kay in 9th. And obviously that was due to the first lap incident where, I don't know what happened, but that rear wing on the 19 car flew off, and then with a lack of grip, obviously just contact made with the Zebra, and Alan Kay got caught up in the middle of it all as well. And that is, speaking of Alan Kay, that is Alan Kay in the grass there, doing the gardening again. I'm sure he's going to be asking for a wage off the Knockhill people before long, but I'm sure they're going to give him nothing for that because, well, he's Irish, we don't pay in euros here. Anyway, Lyronic's catching up. Jazza seems to be pushing it a little bit. Catching to the gravel. Not what he wants to be doing very much though. You can see Zebra catching up to the back of him as what could have been for the American. Got his first podium last week in the Zolder as well. You can see we're on lap 18. Top 4 are on the lead lap. Mays, Plaster and McKinda for you a lap down, and the Zebra and Alan Kay 2 laps down at the moment. Fastest lap of the race is still the Crusher Bro, but only just 49.418 compared to 49.5.5, and Jazza has decided, you know what, I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my pit stop now. 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes into this race, and he is now underway, and that's all you need to do. You can see it doesn't look like tyres went on, no fuel needed, got fueled up to the end of the race at the start, and he is underway, and that is going to be that's Alan Kay going, no, it's Plaster going through, sorry. So Jazza comes out in 4th, having only lost the what? Whoa, no, he's been caught there. That was Plaster. Lost it down Duffus Dip. Jazza just out of pit lane, and that is not what he will have wanted at all. It kinda for you goes, thank you very much, that'll have 6th place. Sneaks through ahead of Jazza, and that is another, that's the car off in the background. That is actually McKinda for you, so he's going to give up 6th place back to Plaster, but no, he's not. He's going to break later into Clark's and keeps the position. So has Jazza got any damage to that car though? He just came out of the pits and Plaster lost it coming down the hill. Duffus Dip. Jazza is carrying on, so he's not going on to do another lap. So you can see Plaster struggling, and he's got Alan Kay one side, the Crusher going through the middle, and Plaster heads for pit lane, so damage to that car, I would imagine. And he's going to take his pit stop now, so that's going to be another driver to have now completed the pit stop phase. So Mays, Lyronic, Rappy and Crusher Bro are the only guys that are still to pit. Jazza looks like he might have got away with it, hopefully. But he's carrying on for the meantime, 4th place at the moment. You can see Lyronix has still got the Zebra behind him. Zebra obviously down in 7th place now, so he's got ahead of Plaster, obviously having already got ahead of Alan Kay earlier on. So that's just how him starting to just gain his way back up a little bit on some of the guys ahead. He's now on his 19th lap. Top 4 are on the 21st, but Mays and McKinda for you are only just ahead a lap, so there's still a chance here. He's made his pit stop, he doesn't need to stop again. He can still do something before the end of this race. Meanwhile, McKinda for you, out of picture, has sneaked his way past Mays, who's dropped down to 6th place, as Crusher Bro is coming right up behind the Slovenian as well, who gets right out of the way. By the looks of it, is he? Yes, he does indeed, so he does get out of the way. And then runs wide, that's not what he wants there, and that is then, who's that in the background? That is going to be Rappy coming through to try and lap the Slovenian as well. So something happened with Mays there that we didn't quite catch. That's allowed the Slovenian through up in the 5th place, making good recovery after losing his front rear wing, sorry, on lap number 1. I wonder if Mays might decide to come into pit lane. No, he's staying out on track at the moment. We are more than halfway through the race now, 16 minutes to go. You are watching TTTV, this is TTP Cars Formula C, season number 1, round 6, and that is a mistake from McKinda for you, sorry, I'm trying to figure out who that was there. Getting it all wrong there, but yeah, you're watching TTTV, you're watching TTP Cars. It is season 1, round 6 from Knockhill on Project Cars 2. And 2 more rounds to go after this. And obviously your championship leader coming into tonight was Gero, the Spaniard. He is no longer, he's decided to drop out of the league and he will no longer compete. That is one of the purple, blue and pink machines in, and it's 2nd place Rappy into pit lane, so he's decided it's time for him to make his mandatory stop. So when does Crusher now come into pit lane? Will be an interesting one. Lyronic's coming through, still got Rapid, in fact, Ironics is coming out the pits as well, so it's going to release the Zebra to make his way through. Rappy back out onto track just ahead. Oh, comes across Zebra. I'm sure the American won't be too chuffed at that one, but he's managed to hold on for now. Now, where is Jazza? And where is Lyronic? Still in pit lane at the moment. Can Jazza gain back the third place from the German? Let's quickly try and jump on board to the bonnet. Where is the... There he is, and Jazza sneaks through. Back ahead of Lyronics into third position and gains that place back that he lost during the pit stop phase. Man of Steel will be beside himself in the track, happy at that. But Jazza's going to lose it straight away, just as I say that, by running wide in Scotsman and onto the gravel, and that's dropped him back down to fourth position. Having done the good work on track during the pit stop phase, he's just chucked it away, and now jumping across that sausage curb, and Clark's not good at all, and McKinda for you is just behind him as well, but luckily for them, although that's fourth and fifth, the Slovenian is a lap down on the two ahead. So the only one still to stop then is the Crusher. In fact, speaking of Devil, Crusher Bro into pit lane. His man decides to run through the car and back underway straight away. That's just how quick it is. If you've got the pit stop strategy nailed, you can easily get underway very quickly. You've got to set it in pit lane. It's a very clever trick and he's used it very good. So Maze is the only man still to make a pit stop. Zebra's picked himself up a penalty. It's a 1 second time penalty. That'll be for corner cutting. Not going to make any difference to his positioning at the moment. So May's the only man still to make a pit stop in this race. You can see Jazza's dropped back from Lyronics. You've got to wonder if Jazza does have some damage to that car after that incident with Plaster coming out of pit lane. McKinda for you is all over the back of him, but he's trying to gain a lap back is the Slovenian, and you can see as they come down there's a rear wing somewhere on that right hand side. So we jump on board with Jazza. He's run very wide through Duffus into Leslie's and then into Scotsman corner, and he's wide again. And I wonder, let's go on the cockpit camera. I know there's not much in the way of straights around here, but let's see we get to a relatively straight part if that steering wheel is sideways or crooked. Yeah, look, he's having to steer by the looks of it to the right hand side to keep the car in a straight line, because I do think there might be some suspension damage to that car. Just look at it as it's lined up to the right hand side much more than you would need it to be. Let's just watch here. Yep, he's having to steer slightly to the right, so there is suspension damage. There is an unfortunate fallback from that incident with Plaster as he came out of pit lane, and that's costing Jazza an awful lot of time. He's lost 2 seconds on the back as that is Plaster running wide, trying to stay out of the way of both Jazza and McKinda for you, and you can see that is your race leader coming up behind in the background. Plaster, good for his spatial awareness, he'll no doubt know the blue flags are being shown. The race leader, lap 28 of this race. Plaster getting a bit sideways there. He tries to keep out of the way at the same time, and then moves to the side to allow Crusher Bro to easily make his way through. But Jazza, I would say, has got some suspension damage from that incident with Plaster, and that's costing him time. But a good thing for him is the man behind him is 5th place McKinda for you, but he's a lap behind on Jazza, so he's got a full lap in his bag, and he could just be what he needs to keep a hold of 4th place. Just over 10 minutes to go here in this feature race, and at the moment it is Crusher Bro heading for a weekend Grand Slam, and I do believe it would be his 2nd full weekend Grand Slam of both victories, pole and both fastest laps, and it would be another dominating display. But I did say he was on for that last week as McKinda for you up the inside of Jazza. Hopefully no contact between the two. He manages to avoid Crushers in the way of him as well. The race leader's coming through, so be careful. I was just going to say, last week I said that Crusher was on for a Grand Slam, and they had that incident with Maze which dropped him down to 4th place. So He's managed to avoid any issues there. Jazza holds on to fourth at the moment, but kinda for you does look a lot quicker though. And that suspension damage will not be helping Jazza's cause here, but full lap in his pocket. The longer he can keep it kinda for you behind will be useful if the Slovenian was to get past. So that is something he maybe be thinking of as a, well, on my screen anyway, Slovenian, but kinda for you getting wide there into Clark curve. Lap number 30 out to be completed as Crusher Bro rises the crest of the hill. What is the start and finish line here at Knockhill on his 31st lap and seemingly on his way to another race victory, and it would be, as I say, I think it's his 5th victory it would be. I'm just going to get my stats up from my spreadsheet. So he's now got 3 sprint victories, and this would be his 3rd feature victory as well. So if he was to finish this one, so this will be 6th victory in 5 rounds. So out of 10 races, he'll have won 60% of them should he finish where he is right now. Meanwhile, the Zebra has caught up to the back of Maze, and this is a fight for position as well. And I'm still not sure if Maze maybe been into pit lane at all or not. I'm not too sure yet. He knows he has to. Oh, Maze getting a bit to the inside there. He's probably just going to allow the American through, I'd imagine here. Drag race up towards the Taylor's hairpin. And the Zebra through before the braking zone. I think Maze maybe deciding not to fight that one there, knowing that the American is much faster. That's him up to 6th place now, as I see. Excuse me. I've picked up the commentator's worst nightmare of having hiccups. Oh god. 2 seconds, give me a moment. There we go, I think that's done the trick. So, Zebra up into 6th position, his next target. Ooh! Now that is Rappy. That is 2nd place Rappy spinning. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So Rappy spins it. He's got plenty of gap over Lyronics for his liking though. That's not going to do him too much problems. But not good for the German. He wants to finish on the podium. It would be his first podium as well. Oh goodness me. Hold on, I'm going to need to turn the mic off for a moment. Give me a second guys, sorry. Right, I'm going to try and continue on. I'm hoping the hiccups have gone. Nope, they've not. I've tried to drown them basically, but it's not working, so I can only apologise. They will disappear eventually. But Rappy's on for his first podium of the season actually. So he needs to keep it on the track. Lyronics is currently heading for what would be his 5th of the year. And Zebra trying to close the gap to make kinda for you is 18.5 seconds. Oh goodness me. Hiccups are the worst thing for a commentator. It's a good job there's only 5 minutes left to go in this because I'm struggling. but 18 seconds for the Zebra. It's not going to have enough time, I'm sure, to catch it. Oh, give me a sec, I'm going to need to try something here. I do apologise for this. Hold on. Sorry. We've seen Jazza getting lapped there by Rappy, and you can see that the Crusher Bro is about to lap Lyronix in third. Oh, he's nearly lapped up to third place. The only man that won't be lapped will be Rappy at this rate. I'm sorry guys, you're just going to have to deal with the hiccups because we've only got 4.5 minutes to go. Commentators' worst things, list of them: hiccups, loss of voice, and being blamed for a commentator's curse probably as well, but yeah. At least it happened towards the end of the race and not early doors. That's what I get for taking a big swig of juice and thinking I'll be alright. Oh goodness me, Christ almighty. Oh, this is going to end up clipped or something, isn't it? Rappy's last lap was a minute. What happened to the German? If he's not careful, Lyronix might catch him if he makes any more mistakes. Zebra's not going to be catching McKinda for you, and May's too far back as well, so it looks like we have our finishing positions as long as everybody keeps it going to the flag. It's Crusher Bro heading. Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry. For that 6th victory of the season. That'll be 6 victories, 3 sprints, 3 feature victories. He's had 5 pole positions in 6 rounds. The only other pole position sitter is Gero, and that was at round number 1 at Open Park. He's on for his 8th fastest lap of the race, having got the fastest lap earlier. Oh, for crying out loud, sorry. And this will be his 8th podium finish as well. 6 of them race victories. Impressive stats from the Norwegian. As this, we're down to one person watching, probably because they can't deal with my hiccups. I'm sorry anyone watching this back. Commentator's worst nightmare to be doing things live and have something like this or to lose your voice. It's just the absolute worst thing that can happen. End today where I felt under the weather all day long. Oh gosh me. Oh dearie dearie. There is your race leader Crusher Bro. He's got a minute and 50 to go. Excuse me. And oh, into the gravel at the top of the hill. It's going to allow Lyronix to unlap himself. Luckily for Crusher, he's got 27 seconds to the guy behind. He's on for the fastest lap, 49.0, like Rappy's the only other one on a 49. Zebra's now got himself 4 seconds worth of time penalties as he pushes too hard, probably through the chicane I bet you, as well. Crusher could technically slow down if he wanted to, but I get the feeling this is going to be his second last lap. Your connection's poor today, man of steel. Well, I think my voice is these hiccups. Oh gosh almighty me. I was always glad as ever for you to be around though, but I'm guessing that's where some of the numbers keep jumping up and down. Oh goodness me. Crusher in the gravel again. Another mistake from the Norwegian as he pushes to end it. Oh, can he get moving actually? No, he can. I thought he was going to have another problem. Remember, I think it was Silverstone. He had an issue where the clutch went and he couldn't get the clutch to work. I think he was using a clutch paddle on the actual, excuse me, shifter. I thought that might have happened there. There we go anyway, he's going to cross the line. If he slows down enough here, he'll cross the line at the right time and win the race. He's just slowing it down, there we go, and he crosses the line just at the right point and takes the race victory. He's done me a favour in the process as well. Plaster crosses the line in 8th place, Alan Kay is going to take 9th, Mays crosses the line for 7th, Rappy coming up now to take 2nd place, his first podium of the season. Great result for him. Lyronix, an uncontested 3rd place for him after the incident with Jazza with Plaster earlier on. He crosses the line in 4th. McKinda for you in 5th. There's Lyronix crossing the line to finish the podium, and that is thankfully the end of proceedings. Crusher Bro wins. Fastest lap. It is a weekend Grand Slam, the 2nd one of the season for him. Rappy takes his first podium in 2nd. Lyronix takes 3rd, another podium for him. The top 3, the only guys on the fast lead lap. Jazza in 4th. It looks like he might have had suspension damage from the incident with Plaster. After his pit stop. 4th place, good points. Kind of few in 5th. Zebra recovered to 6th place after the first lap. Mays in 7th. Plaster's in there in 8th because it's one of these faults with Project Cars too. Alan Kay in 9th place. And that is it. Gracefully and thankfully it is over. I'm away to get rid of these hiccups. Before I do, thank you very much for everyone watching for again. We'll be back next week, same time, 8 o'clock for Donington National, round number 7. Only 2 more rounds to go. Tomorrow night, TTL F2. You can join Nexus, Jack and Cats for that. It is rounds number 7 and 8, which is the French and Austrian Grand Prix Tuesday night. TTL F1, Kieran McGinley back in the box. It'll be Silverstone. Thursday night he'll be also there for the German Grand Prix. I think I'm going to be there, but there was something I agreed to beforehand, so I might not be. I'm hoping to be. Wednesday night is the 2nd round of the latest esports mini league event, which was absolutely fantastic. Once again on Wednesday we'll have action from that, and then Mac is back. Malk is back, sorry, on Friday night for TTFL, which will be from Hockenheim and the German Grand Prix. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Thank you for putting up with hiccups over the last 10 minutes. I'm away to get rid of them, but until next time, my name is Andy. My name is Andy. Thank you for watching TTTV. I'll try to be hiccup free next week, and until next time, take care of yourself. I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.